Hello everyone, it's Bella. I wanted to make a video for you guys about the real estate business and how much money it takes to get into this and sort of a realistic depiction of what my first really 2 months has been. But these costs are from January to almost October. It's September 29th today. I've been licensed for roughly 8 weeks. I started my class in January and I got my license August 6th, and I have been learning in the business a little bit here and there. But one of the things that people ask me, is how much does it actually cost to get started? And, it really varies at how you look at it. Are you looking at it as just the class? Are you looking at it as all the marketing involved once you start the business? So for me personally, it's cost $2,509 so far, and I think it'll probably be close to 3,000 by the time I get my first check. I do have one deal under contract for a transaction brokerage, and hoping to sign another deal next week for a just a traditional listing for selling a house. But this is sort of a little breakdown of everything. And this is everything that's going on my taxes. So, I mean, some of the stuff is not necessarily a have to, but this is stuff that I'm going to go ahead and write off and say, this is real estate related. And you should definitely keep up with your mileage as well. I use MileIQ, but you can get pretty much any kind of tracker app to track your mileage, especially even your mileage from going from your house to your office is tax deductible because that is real estate related and you are an independent contractor. So, and then when you're going to show houses, those miles really add up at 54 cents a mile. I mean, even let's say you're driving 100 miles a month, which is really low. That's $54 a month times 12 months in a year. You've got a $648 tax deduction. So don't forget to look into the mileage. And the Mile IQ is like maybe $60 a year, so it's well worth the money to get the tax deduction. And then you just have a neat little thing to hand your accountant. You don't have to deal with, figuring out all the different mileage points. So I'm gonna actually just kind of go through this list and talk about a couple of different things. You might have seen my obsessive color coding. So what red is 100% necessary costs. Yellow is mail marketing. I've been doing a lot of mailers, a lot of handwritten cards, a lot of notes to people in my sphere of influence to let them know that I'm in real estate now. And the green is miscellaneous extras category. So let's just go through a few things and we'll kind of talk about the basics. And what all these things are doing is kind of leading you into how much it costs to get started as a real estate agent. And this is going to vary for, of course, state to state, brokerage to brokerage. There are no desk fees where I work. I don't pay any monthly fees. I only pay a percentage to my broker, and I pay a 6% of my commission to Coldwell Banker, and then you have your split with your broker. So fingerprints, how to get fingerprinted, non-negotiable, only one place in town to do it, $47. The licensing fee, $210. My exam fee was $75. I passed the first time. Highly recommend passing the first time if you don't want to keep paying $75. So my real estate course was $450. I actually did an in-class course, and I really, really am glad that I did because my instructor was super good, and I learned a lot about local real estate that may not have actually come up if I had taken an online course. But I mean, I'm not knocking an online course either. I think online courses are great, especially for people who have, busy lives and they may have other jobs and things that they're doing. So, but my course was $450, well worth it. We met 2 nights a week for like 3 hours, and we did that for maybe 12 weeks. So yeah, well worth it for the information, and I really, really learned a lot. I got a tripod to do some videos with, so that's really not super real estate related. Business cards, I used Vistaprint. I've ordered a couple different variations of mine. I probably have over like 1,500 right now on hand. I give them to people really casually. I mean, I'm not like, hey, I'm in real estate. It's more like, yeah, if you want my number, you want to look me up, this is it. Sometimes if I'm chatting with someone at a bar or something, I'll write whatever's relevant. Like if I'm trying to tell them about something and I want them to remember it, I'll just write it on the back of my card. I like to get the cards that are blank on the back because it's just easier to write stuff on. MLS dues. So I had to pay about $7.79 to join up the realtor cult and the MLS cult and all of that. I call it a cult because it's really, I mean, what else in the world would you have to pay this much money to be in? This is kind of ridiculous. I could go on a whole entire rant about that, but I won't because that's just the way it is. So I have my MLS dues, and I actually have to pay that again. So I should probably update this sheet because I have $150 as of like October 1st. So that's in like 3 days. Anyways, so yeah, the realtor dues were not fun to pay at all, but now that they're paid, that's a lot easier. Um, a networking event, I paid $50 to go to a TEDx event to kind of get into the mix of things. Gonna write that off on my taxes. Of course, I sent my license and things in certified mail, and I'd also picked up some stamps that day. A lot of this spreadsheet is stamps or note cards. I'm really big on handwritten notes. I think that they go a long way, and people tend to remember you, especially if they're getting that in the mail. I send handwritten notes to expireds, to for sale by owners, to people on the phone that like I had a cold call and it went really well. I'll send them a handwritten note with my business card so that they remember my face. Yeah, these are just little incidentals. My haircut, headshots. Those needed to be done pretty quickly because I was going in the paper like the next week, so I got headshots done. And they did a really great job on those. I use those for a lot of my promotional content, and I use them on my YouTube channel too. Book of Yes, Kevin Ward, Book of Scripts, highly recommended. Really motivational book and also just a good reference tool. You can get the scripts for free online. You can just print them out, like different scripts. I'm still not really, super big on scripts, but I'm coming around to it because I don't like rambling on the phone. And the point of a script is to sort of keep the conversation on the track that you want it to be on. Because anybody can keep someone on the phone, but are you getting to the purpose? Are you getting to the end goal that you were looking to fulfill when you made the cold call? Okay, so there's some work clothes thrown in here, more stationery, more business cards. You can write off your lunch while you're prospecting, while you're going on appointments, or if you take somebody to lunch, be sure to write that off because that is going to be another tax deduction. I mean, at all these costs, guys, I'm probably not even going to have to pay very much taxes at all in my first year, um, because my first payouts are going to be pretty low, between $1,000 to $3,000, I'm imagining. So, I mean, I shouldn't even be looking at any taxes this year at all, or very little at that. Some headphones. We have a monthly meeting. It's a brunch. It's $15 to go to that. Helps to just go and be seen and mingle and, do the thing. I probably won't go to this every time, but I might go to it like 2 or 3 times a year. Um, Facebook ads. Probably spent, oh man, probably close to $100 playing with Facebook ads, which sounds silly, but anybody knows if you're trying to learn how ads work, you have to run a lot of split tests. And I'm actually finally kind of cracking the code, and even ran an ad yesterday for $1, and I now have a showing from that $1. So I mean, of course, I've sunk about $100 into ads, but from my ads, I've gotten a lot of decent leads. I mean, that one ad that I posted, I got a comment on it, and a couple comments later, and then I messaged her, and she messaged me, and we're actually setting up a showing for next weekend. So, definitely reach out to people outside of your area because this came from someone who lives 2 hours away. So if you're not targeting the right people, then you're not going to get anyone who's coming from a different part of the state. So yeah, that's just a little pro tip thrown in there. I got a giant decal for my car. I'm probably gonna do a separate video on this because it's so funny. Giant car decal with my name and phone number and brokerage. More business meetings, lunch. I had my first open house, as you guys know, and so I did a 3 Starbucks gift cards, $5 gift card giveaway, and I did um, some food from Publix is on this as well. And this is not all in the right order of date. And I had some office supplies that I got from my office. And then the last big cost was a yearly lockbox fee. That's $200. That's so I use my phone to access the properties. So that's good for the next year. So, roughly $2,000 to start, and that's with no extras. And that's a lot of money. I realized that to me, it was not a insignificant amount. especially when I realized that like I'm probably not going to make money from this for a little while. But the information that I've learned has been invaluable. The last couple of weeks have been, I'm not going to lie, it's been actually really mentally difficult. It's harder than I thought it would be. I'm tired every day. I'm feeling like some days I literally just feel like a complete failure, but then I'm like, get up, get a good night's sleep, go to bed, get some rest and get up and, make a plan for the day. The biggest thing I could say is that you have to stick with it and you have to stay consistent. I definitely see why people quit early on, and I've been tempted to quit already, and I've only been in it for like 8 weeks. I'm just kind of like, this is so like they're so competitive. There's so many people who are better than me, and they know more than me, and I don't have time for this. I'm not making any money, and yada yada yada. All the negative stuff that goes in your head, and those feelings that you feel like you can't do it. But I would just encourage you to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it for at least a year and see what I can do. I mean, the fact that I already have gone on listing appointments, gone to show houses, have a deal under contract in less than 2 months. I mean, that's pretty good, and that's from me really not knowing anything about real estate. I don't have family in real estate. I don't have rich parents who are going to support me until this plays out. Like, this is really all of my efforts going into this one venture. And I still have my other businesses that give me income, but it's not as much income now that I don't have as much time to work on them. So I'm really trying to trade off short term gain for long term gain. I'm trying to look at the big picture of this. And as far as how much money you need to actually do real estate, not only do you have to think about this $2,000 to $3,000, you also have to think about what you're trading as your time. You're not going to be able to work as much in your regular job, and you will be trading, basically you're going to need enough money to support yourself for 3 to 6 months until you start getting paid. And I would encourage you to at least save a couple $1,000s before you start this. At least save five to $6,000 to live off of, to maybe even more than that. I mean, it would help if you had 10, but I know not everybody has that, so I'm not going to say that that's what you have to have. But this is definitely one of those things that it's really challenging. I'm gonna try to make videos as I learn things. But I wanted to make this because I feel like I had no idea what it was gonna be like when I got started. I didn't know how much things cost. I just had a general idea. I thought, well, maybe it'll be around $1,000. Maybe it'll be around $2,000. Maybe it'll be around five. I don't really know. But this is sort of what I've paid, and realistically, it's gonna be about 3 grand before I ever make any money. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. For all of you new agents, just leave a comment and say where you're working and what kind of real estate business you are in, and if you want to get into investing or if you want to do, lake houses or fix and flips or first time home buyers. I would love to hear from you in the comments section below. Thanks so much, guys.